Hey, welcome to Goose Creek Fly Fishers. My name's Trent. Today we're going to be tying the black bear greenbutt. All right, so the black bear greenbutt we're going to be tying here. It's on an eye up salmon fly. You can see this is one of those bend back hooks that we use. So we'll go ahead and start my thread. I'm going to put in a nice thread base. Start right here at that bend. And I'm going to go kind of, they don't have to be touching wraps, but we want to move back. We're going to stop right where the thread will hang at the point of end of the barb. That is where I'm going to put the tag on this. So on these older flies, they have a metal tag, and it's usually just a flat mylar tensile. Sometimes they use an oval tensile or a twist. Excuse me. Here we're using a flat mylar. So this is silver on one side, gold on the other. And I want a silver tag. So I'm going to have silver touching the hook. And I'm just going to make some loose wraps, get this out, get the thread out of the way. Then come over. Whoop. Did not fold the way it was I wanted it to. Here we go. Go this way. So there's one. And I'm just going to make probably 3 wraps with this. Just give a little bit of a flash. So we're here. I'm just going to unwind my thread at that point. And just catch that tag end. Then I'm going to clip this, but remember it's got that bend back that I'm going to want to build up on that side of the hook. So I'll clip that at a length where I can kind of put some material in there to help build up that gap. So, excuse me. So that is the tag. So obviously the next thing we're going to tie in will be the butt, and it is green. And I'm using like a green Antron yarn, and I'm going to want this butt to go all right up to where the point of the hook is. So what I'm going to do is tie that in, just pull it back a little bit and capture that. So I'm going to make my wraps go back. These will be touching side by side. Go back all the way to the tag. And then just come forward. Now originally, this fly was tied all black. But over the years, a lot of variations have come in. Things have changed. And the black bear greenbutt became a fly pattern, became a favorite. And I'm just going to collect this material on the side of the hook to build up where that bend back is. I'm doing this because I'm going to have a floss body, and I don't want a weird look on the side of the hook when it goes back. So we'll clip that free. And that butt is a little bigger than it needs to be. So we're just going to overwrap that to where we need, to the size we want it. So that's looks about right where I'm going to want that. The black to start. Excuse me. Geez, got something in my throat. So ribbing, you'll notice, especially on these larger Atlantic salmon flies, the ribbing goes underneath where you want it to be. So now I'm just going to bind all that down nice and tight, and then come all the way back up to where I'm going to want my black floss body to end, even though it's kind of where it's starting. Boy, that thing just doesn't want to. All right, well, I guess it'll just hang there. So what I like to do to save some floss, first I use the uni single floss, or uni floss. It's just one strand is what I'm going to use. So, and then I put it on a material bobbin because I found that I waste less material if I put it on a bobbin. Otherwise, I cut off 6 or 8 inches, you know, and then I end up throwing a lot of that away because I didn't use it, and it's too short to try to keep on my desk. So I started using a bobbin. But if you don't have a bobbin and you just want to use your hand, you certainly can. That's just why I'm doing it. Now I'm going to get a little weirdness in the body right there. You can kind of see it. We'll get that cleaned up. What I'm doing, I don't know if you can see it or not, I'm spinning it to uncord the floss so it lays flatter, because this is the finished layer, if you will. So we're just gonna continue with our touching wraps of black floss coming up. And I'm going to want this to end, this body, this black body material, I'm going to have it end right here where the bend back is. So we'll go to there, and then we're just going to capture that with the black thread. Clip. Now I'm going to throw in just a quick hitch to kind of save my work, because I'm going to use the rotary on the vise. And sometimes when you're using the rotary, it can unwind your thread, obviously. So we're going to put 5 ribs on here. So there's 2, 3, 4, nope, that's, so now shorten my angle just a little bit and go again. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to kind of come around to almost start a 6th one, so I can capture this all underneath the shank of the hook. Okay, so next we're going to clip, I don't know if it'll show up, maybe not. Anyway, that's black bear back there. We're going to clip some black bear off of a patch of black bear that I was given several years ago, about 10 years ago now that I think about it, from a good friend of mine who actually was successful on a black bear hunt in the Adirondacks about 10 years ago. And he had a pretty good chunk of black bear. He didn't know what to do with it, so he gave it to me. So I want the tail just to extend just just a little past that bend of the hook. So right there seems to be a good length for it. So I'll transfer that measurement from one hand to the other. And then I'm going to clip that. We'll do another quick check. It's a little long. When you're clipping, it's best to, it's really hard to grow it after you've cut it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get this on camera for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. Let me spin this bobbin. So if you spin the bobbin counterclockwise, the thread will want to kind of cord up a little bit. It's a little easier to manage. So what I'm doing is I went around just the hair, and now I'm going to put everything onto the top of the shank of the hook. And doing that wrap around the top, around the hair, kind of keeping it in a bundle will keep it right on the top of the hook for you. It's a nice little trick when you're tying in hair wings. So the last part for this, before we tie off the head, is going to tie in a throat. So we'll roll that under. So the throat material that I'm going to use is just some webby black hen fibers. And I use hen fibers pretty well exclusively on throats for these patterns. They're soft and they move real well in the water, and they just look really good. So I don't want my throat all the way back to the point of the hook, just a little short of that. So I'm going to come in and just, this is a pinch wrap. So I'm holding that material. Get where I want it. There we go. So right there, and then I'm just gonna give that a little bit more, a little bit too much movement for me. We'll just clip that clean. Move that throat right where we want it. There we go. Build up a little bit of a thread head there. And we can hit this with the whip finish tool and call it finished. So the black bear green butt, generally how I fish this as I'm finishing up here, is I like to swing it almost in a spay cast it quarterly downstream, and there's an errant hair right there. Quartering downstream, let it swing through. Usually a trout or salmon or steelhead, they'll hit it on the swing, but don't be afraid to let it hang for a while at the back of that swing, just riding the current, because as you go to lift there, sometimes those fish will follow it right up to that last minute, and when you go to lift or bring it up, they'll hit it. So here is the black bear green butt. Let me scan out just a little bit. Here's the black bear green butt. It's a great fly pattern. I encourage anybody to give it a shot tying. If you have a chance at some salmon or steelhead, this is a must-have in your box. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'll see you around the vise.